Okay. Yeah. So today I'm going to be taking some of these farther. Let's see. Kind of like this one. Like these two. Hmm. There's actually a few here I'm kind of liking. Um. Okay. Hello. Alright. I'm just going to pick a couple of these actually. Increase size a little bit. So I got more room to work with. I got some feedback from a coworker to maybe try making these guys a little bit more aggressive and kind of boss looking. I think I definitely agree too. Like I think they could be, especially without a scale reference, they could be confused for just regular creatures wandering about. I think I need to add a little bit to amp it up. One thing I find is I'm not like a huge fan of like the late game monsters. I feel like some of them start to get a little lose a little bit of focus maybe. They get like a little too monstrous for my taste. I kind of like the ones that are pretty clearly based off of some kind of real world creature. But I think I should probably push out of my comfort zone a little bit as well and see what comes out. I really like this guy, Ban Barrows, I think. It's like a nice mix of scale and fur, and I think maybe there's something there that we can pull from. Okay. It's kind of cool too, just how much of a sword that looks like. Okay. Start playing around with these. The thing I just have to be careful of is I don't want any detail to compete with the horns on the head. since that's like his like main form of attack, it's gotta stand out. So at first glance, you know, this guy's like a charging creature. I watched a video on horns as well, like why animals have horns, different kinds of horns, and it's always good to watch that kind of stuff and kind of educate yourself on what you're designing. You can get away with not doing it as well, but I think whenever you can, it's good to educate yourself, and you'll have more to work with, a deeper understanding. You could probably come up with more interesting things as well. I think I want to mimic those horns on the head a bit more as well, actually. Um, it talked about like how there's different kinds of horns. Like some of them, I mean, usually they are there primarily for mating reasons. Um, Sometimes they're like decorative, and like, you know, like the biggest horns, like the best male or whatever, or like, and they're able to like wrestle or whatever the best. There's different types. There's like wrestling horns, um, that like I forget the names of them, like bison and stuff have, and there's like piercing horns that other animals have. They primarily stab with. Um, yeah, there's all kinds of different like types. So it was pretty cool. Some of the ones like a ram's horns are primarily for wrestling, but apparently they're actually like the least lethal as well, because you have to be able to charge with them. It's like ideally you have horns that curve kind of like this, where you have like a blunt portion but also like sharp, so they can gore their opponents. So it was neat. try making the face smaller. It'll help the scale a little bit. I should grab some, let's see, emu feet. They have really cool armoring. I think preferably I'd take from life over referencing other concepts as much as I can. Yeah, that's really cool. I think one thing that I find throws me off a little bit is like the mixing of fur and scale. You don't, I feel like you don't really see that ton in nature. I mean, like armadillos and whatnot, they have like a furry like underbottom, but the separation is pretty distinct. Like you don't often see a transition from scale to fur like gradually. At least not that I'm aware of. It feels a little too busy to me now. Get rid of that. I do like how there's that transitional stage here. You get like the really big scales, then it jumps a fair bit here, and then it really jumps to very tiny scales. It's not super gradual, but it still is like enough that it doesn't strike me as weird. Hey, Romic. Thanks for the raid. How you doing, man? I'm good. Just getting started on the Monster Hunter thing again today. Just taking a few of the previous concepts a bit farther. Oh, nice, man. Yeah, popped in your stream for a second, saw you playing World. I was just playing that yesterday a little bit on my Steam Deck. I just sat on the couch and played it a bit. It's fun. Thanks, man. Yeah, so one thing I find in Monster Hunter games, you don't see a lot of like herbivores and mammals. There's like a lot of lizards and dragons, and I really like this is like based on a muskox. I feel like it'd be cool if there's more mammals in there. So I'm trying that out with this. Mod. Oh, cool. I didn't realize you could mod it. What's the ice mod do? Yeah, for real. They're cool, but it gets less cool when that's all you have for the most part. Like the variety is nice. Maybe this plate covers the whole kind of butt side. Oh, cool. Dang. That's cool. I haven't played it in a while, so when I jumped on yesterday, I got a nice reminder of how like the monsters can be a bit grindy. I kind of like it though, 'cause it adds more weight to like the hunts. It's like, okay, this thing is actually a beast that you have to takes time to take down. Oh, really? I never played Rise. I used to play like Freedom Unite on my PSP. Way back, that was super fun. Yeah, 3 minute fights still kind of just takes away I don't know, like the impact of taking down a monster. It's kind of lame. I should wrap this around the leg more. Oh man, yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the designs in it. I thought it was interesting that they based them off like yokai, um, or like Japanese myth and whatnot, but they, yeah, they feel a little scattered oftentimes to me. Yeah, I think the idea is cool. It's just the execution is a little lacking. Let me look those up. Platypus is at 10 Tetranodon. He's so chunky. I guess he's supposed to be a kappa. Oh, the Mudstake is cool. I like him. Oh, shoot. Do you have a favorite monster in all of Monster Hunter? Or like one of your favorites? Beereth. Oh yeah, he's rad. He's really cool. His head shape is so cool, man. Yeah, I like him. Um, what's the? I like the dark Yin Katku. What's his name? The Yin Gruga. I always thought he was really cool. Especially for like the hammer you got from him. I like the beak hammer a lot. I feel like it made a bird sound too on the old game. That leg don't feel quite right to me. That armor. Yeah, I was super glad they brought him back. It's a true cool monster. Yeah, I always thought that was cool. I like the look of the bone guy in World. Shoot, I forget his name. Did I put him on here somewhere? It's a monster that has tar on him, and yeah, Radaban. He looks really cool. Like he's pretty noisy, but I don't know. He just seems cool to me. Like the idea behind him, especially like how he gets his armor from rolling around in tar and then bone. I don't like the armor you get from him though at all. It's like a spacesuit. The female one has like cat ears on it. That's my one thing with Monster Hunter. I don't sometimes really like the armor, but a lot of times I'm not super big on it. Oh, really? I've never been... Let me look at that. Master rank armor. I always forget there's different armor sets. That's pretty cool. It does feel very Doom guy. Yeah, it's interesting. I almost would like it to feel a little more like Diablo-like, I guess, some of the armor. Not exactly, but skewing in that direction, I guess. But it might not be Monster Hunter anymore at that point. Oh yeah, that'd be sick, man. I have I have a physical copy of let me see, of Monster Hunter Illustrations too, but I don't have any of the other ones. So yeah, that'd be sick. Some of the art I find online isn't very high resolution either. Alright, I had to turn the fan on. Hopefully it's not too loud. It's still cool. Thanks, man. Yeah, it does look really cool. I like that you could have that little mount guy. That's gonna be sick. VFX gloving effects. I've only seen um the initial teaser. I know they released something the other day, like a gameplay thing, but I haven't watched it yet. Oh, cool. Oh yeah, I mean I'm hammer mostly too. Hammer and sometimes longsword. Um, but like primarily hammer always. When I was playing yesterday, I switched to the longsword just to try it out because I don't think I've ever tried it on World. It's pretty fun, but I don't know. It also feels weird not being able to like bonk things and stun them. I like the heavy hitting. I remember the first time I played multiplayer on a Monster Hunter game. It's like such a memorable uh, experience for me because I played it on PSP, but there is this remote online play thing with the PlayStation 3 you can connect to. So you could connect to servers people set up and join multiplayer that way. And the first time I did that, I was like, holy shit, man! Like this is how it was. It felt like it was meant to be played that way with three other people. Super fun. It's like a bow gunner in the group and twin blade dude. Oh yeah, I did use twin blades too. My first try at Worlds. The demon Naruto run thing is pretty sick. Okay. Yeah, that's usually me in games like Elden Ring and Dark Souls. I just always use hammers or big axes. I always want to expand though, because I'm like, man, there's so many other weapons I'm not using that could potentially be fun. Hammer. Okay, that's cool. I tried the horn a bit in one of the games, and that was pretty fun. Sick, thanks man. I will download that. Oh, sleep tight, dude. Thanks for coming by. Having a little bit of trouble figuring out how to balance armoring this guy. Keep it flowing nice for the rest of the design. Trying to see how they do it in the concepts. Kind of like fades out. This is very much a learning process for me. I don't do a ton of creatures. I want to do more though. Alright, starting to feel a bit better to me, I think. Still need to be careful I don't add too many scales. I'm working at a pretty relaxed pace as I do this too, because a big part of this is building my... Like, I have my own tastes, but I haven't explored them with creatures too much. So a big part of working in a relaxed way, I'm kind of feeling out what I like and what I don't like. And the longer you do that, the quicker you kind of get with the process, because you're like, okay, yeah, I like that, or, you know, I don't like what I did there. You have to kind of let yourself be patient though at first, and I mean it's good to be patient in general, but especially when you're starting something new, because you can't really expect yourself to just be able to blast a concept out super quick when you haven't done a ton of that thing yet in both your tastes. What if we put tiny horns back here? That might look kind of goofy, but let's see. I could imagine a plate here with like a very tiny horn. Again, I don't want to pull focus from that head too much. I don't know about that. I think if anything, maybe just giving more width to these plates might be enough to add a little bit more interest back here. Should be kind of cool if the tail had like a tiny bit of scaling on it too. Just the base. Yeah, if anyone's got any questions or anything, feel free to send them my way. And if you'd like to join the Monster Hunter challenge thing, it's on my Discord. If you want, I could send you a link. See, I almost kind of want to mimic this like scoop shape back here. It's one thing you can do in this stuff as well as like assign a shape to like the scale shape language and duplicate it. It kind of helps unify your design. I like being organic about it though, because I don't know. No matter what I draw, I like to try and draw it organically. Unless it's for like a job and you have to do something like very, very hard surface, but I don't know, it just feels like there's more life in an organic drawing as opposed to like trying to be very, very tight about everything. It's just a taste thing though. Hey, Car. How is your food? Dang. Tasty. Happens if we add another set of horns on here. Hmm. Maybe just tiny ones at the base here, kind of subordinated. Kind of like how deer horns have like kind of tiny bumps at the base sometimes. Again, I'm thinking the main threats to these guys are kind of from above typically, so actually I could probably get rid of those scales there to sell that a bit better. So they're gonna be like they're big, but anything on the ground they could just trample right through. Imagining things that can fly are probably the primary threat to these guys. Play with the shape a little bit. Kinda like the rounded shape. I feel like warping it and adding like wear at that battering edge would be really cool though. Like you ever seen a piece of wood that's like a handrail or something that's been like touched a ton where it's like very polished almost? Just in that one area. I feel like that'd be quite cool. So the bone gets kind of like darker and more slick in that area. That'd be kind of fun. Okay. Not sure my brush palette does that. It's like when I resize and change my brush, sometimes it does that. It's not doing it now. It's kind of annoying because like flashbangs me a little bit. a lot of this stuff is also adding clarity to the sketches as I try to make them more interesting. And I prefer just to use one layer and erase lines in and out. I can never get the like layered line art to feel good to me for some reason. Whenever I turn off the bottom layer, the one on top would feel like it was missing something. Does make things a little bit quicker to just use one layer, but it's also a little bit of a double-edged sword, because unless you're very experienced, you're unlikely to do like very crazy posing and whatnot, which I find is actually a downside for me, because I find when I use this approach, I'm not as open to doing crazier posing and whatnot, which doesn't really matter for like concept stuff. Oftentimes when I've tried to do that for work, a client will be like, oh, this doesn't need to have fisheye, because it's like obscuring the design. 'Cause for a while there I was like really trying to push that in my stuff, like better posing and whatnot, but it wasn't really appreciated, work-wise at least. At least on concept. Sometimes the task will be purely posing and movement, so it's kind of different then, but maybe let's try no leg armor on this one. I think I just want the back to be plated. Gonna make these scales consistent with the backs. They're not going one over the other. They're kind of coming up to the edge of the other. What if we have these kind of trail off and form kind of like a ridge or something? That could be neat. Maybe they have just like a little bit of plating. Base of their hooves. It's mostly indicating, because I'm gonna, whichever one I go with, I'm gonna paint, and once I get painting, I'm gonna really refine, like in the painting stage, what I want things to look like. Because from sketch to painting, I like to keep the process active. I've tried before where you have a very tight final line art, and you're like, okay, this is gonna be, it's basically just coloring at this stage, but that never works for me because once I add light and form to design, I kind of see it, I mean, literally in a different light. You start to see forms that don't actually work. They worked fine in, or at least they seemingly worked fine in line art, but now that you've lit those forms, they appear kind of broken. So at some point I just accepted, okay, it's gonna, as much as I hate it and I wish I could, at least I used to wish that I could, just have a sketch and be able to just light it and it'd be the same. It just doesn't work for me. I think it's important to, I mean, I think you could do anything, but at the same time, there's certain things that aren't that big of a deal, and if something else works better for you, I think it's worth pursuing that thing. Because I think that's what makes us all unique artists as well, is like our, sometimes the things that you can't do and like the limitations actually can be stylistically kind of defining, which is kind of ironic because it ties into that it's my style bro meme, but I think there's actually a little bit of truth to that. I think the important thing though is the choice, like the informed choice to do something a certain way, as opposed to not wanting to learn. Gotta take this leg forward, please. It's making his body look very thin Like if we were looking at this guy from front view, that leg indicates that his body is like this wide. Just probably how close they are. Okay. So far I'm liking the top two better than the bottom. I think the plating on this one feels really weird. It's too high frequency. It almost feels like manufactured armor for some reason to me. I want it to feel organic. I'm trying to make it a habit to just kind of talk about what I'm thinking and just kind of keep a fairly steady stream going. So I want to be informative and just share my thoughts. Because I find that more entertaining to watch. There's a guy on YouTube, speed character speed sculpts. I find him really entertaining because he's doing like a speed sculpt thing and talking through his process and his thoughts. And sometimes he just talks about like random stuff, but it kind of keeps you a little bit more engaged. And yeah, I find sometimes if you just chime in like too little, a lot of the time you won't even know that a person is actually talking, and you'll just mute the stream. But yeah, if anyone's got anything they wanna hear about, let me know, because that makes it a little bit easier than just kind of coming up with stuff. I'm pretty decent at talking about what I'm thinking though, I think, because I do it for work quite a bit. Like I'll do video feedback, just 'cause I hate writing feedback. It just takes me twice as long to do that than it does to do like a quick video with a paint over and just talking about thoughts. Hey, thanks, Car. I used to have like notifications and stuff for my stream way back when. I don't know how to get that stuff back. I don't know if I want to either, to be honest. Like, years ago I tried to do like the streaming thing. Like I mean I did it a lot actually. Like I didn't try to do it. I was streaming on like livestream.com and then on Twitch eventually, and I guess I tried doing like the notifications and all that, but I don't know. I kind of like it being a bit more low key, honestly. I did. I mean, I did tell Julia that she could help me with like the Patreon and stuff. That'd be cool. If I do make that, she could help me like manage it and whatnot. That'd be pretty cool. Soggy the assistant. The hacker. Hackermans. Oh hey Nick, dang, it's been a long ass time. How are you doing? Yeah, it's been a crazy long time. Um, shoot, I think last time I talked to you, I remember you were talking about working on like a ship or something for a bit there. I forget, I forget the specifics, but that was a long time ago. I'm pretty sure that was you. But you had done like a summer gig or something on a ship. I forget. Could be totally wrong. Oh my god. Okay. Well, yeah, I remember that. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, I've been working at Adam Hawk for 5 years now, actually. Like on Monday, it'll be 5 years there. It's been a while. Oh, that's sick, dude. What kind of stuff are you doing nowadays? Like, is art like a side, um, like, is what you're doing on the side for enjoyment or trying to get a job in it or? Thanks, man. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, like how long it's actually been. Um, Let me see. Dang, Crimson Daggers is still up. Oh, right. I remember you years ago. You were talking about like wanting to do a comic and like kind of getting more into. I think you were talking about getting into writing back when I last talked to you, or maybe you were just thinking about comics more. But dang, my Daggers thread is still up. Yeah, it's kind of crazy thinking about how much time has passed. Oh, really? I see that he streams once in a while, but I haven't caught any of it. I had no idea what Dan was doing anymore. I always see I always see Dave putting like new Diablo and like comic stuff out there, but dang, they're both doing Hollywood stuff too now. That's interesting. Nah, I don't. I mean, the Adam Hawk thing's a full time like in-house job. I was only in studio for the first like 6 months before everybody had to start working from home. Um, yeah, I mean, I did some freelance on the side for a bit there, but I don't know. It was too much work to do freelance and full time like concept stuff. I just do personal work outside of work nowadays. It's more fun. Yeah, still in Canada. I was back and forth a little bit because I was staying in Texas a bit, um, for like a few months at a time because my then girlfriend lived there, and we got married the past year, and she's moving here, so it's a new development as well. Thanks, man. Yeah, I mean even my coworkers, like, I didn't really tell anybody that I worked with or any friends about it that we were gonna get married, and then just family, and then I came back to work one day, like after like an extra long weekend I took, and I was like, oh yeah, I got married, and everyone's like, what? Y'all thought I was like bullshitting them. Thanks, man. My one coworker doesn't trust me anymore, and he's like, he thinks that I could secretly be hiding it, that I have a child as well, and I just never told anybody. It's like, what else is he hiding? You're like not divulging to us. Let's see, I was just trying to look a little more boss-like. Um, hmm. Think that I need to bring this head down a little bit. Maybe. I used to work for the CIA. That reminds me, I had this high school teacher that he was missing a leg, and he would tell every class that he had a different story about how he lost his leg. It's like nobody ever knew like what the real story was. Like he said that to some people he said that he lost it like while parachuting into war. To other people he said that he got squished between two garbage trucks. Um, he said he lost it to diseases to other people. Just like all these different stories. It's kind of a I feel like it's a cool thing to do as a teacher. Like if you're in that position, because I'm sure like everybody asks you like how something like that came to be. think some of this is feeling too straight to me. Yeah, just troll everybody. Keep everybody guessing for life. Or maybe he was just like a pathological liar and just lied about like everything, but everyone just thought it was about the leg. He'll tell like everybody like a different story about what he ate for breakfast just for the hell of it. Okay. Delete those. Let's grab this one. I'm not really in too big a rush to choose one either. I'm kind of just, I don't know, with stuff like this where it's like a lax challenge or like just have fun with it. Take it slow, and again, kind of like the focus is on learning and coming out with something that you're happy with. Yeah, we met on an art Discord. I guess years ago now, and yeah, we knew about each other for quite a while, and then when I guess when COVID happened, like I was at home from work, so I was on Discord more often, and I think she wasn't working because she couldn't with the COVID stuff. And yeah, we just started talking more. It kind of went from there. One thing led to another. Sent her flowers. Oh, cool. Yeah, also, where is it? It's on my Discord, or not Discord, ArtStation. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty common now. I mean, like anytime you're stuck inside, and then also, things like Discord, people. I mean, especially with something that you're working at your desk all the time, like art or, I guess like programming or something. You're probably gonna meet other people in those spaces. Where is it? Is it even on here? Oh, here it is. Yeah. I drew us both back here at one point. I'd like to think that's when she was sure I was the one. Yeah. I think I just messaged her one day while she was at work and I was working. 'Cause that was like a training task at my work. And I was like, hey, do you want to be a decapitated head in this painting? And then she sent me like a reference of her head in that like pose. Nah, I haven't seen Mars Attack. Cropped. Just freak everybody out. Alright, I'll have to watch it. I've heard about that movie a lot. It's like a classic, right? I think. You know a movie I always want to rewatch? It's well, Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust is one. I've seen it like 7 times now, but I've been wanting to rewatch Van Helsing. So I keep seeing it on Netflix, but that movie's really cool. I watched it a few times already. The Frankenstein in that movie is so cool, man. Kind of want to rewatch Blood the Last Vampire as well. That movie is cool. Katsuya Terada did concert for it. Oh no. I bought that a couple of years ago now. I bought a Vampire Hunter D storyboard book. It was pricey then to buy though. It wasn't 350 at that point. It was like 100 something, I think. I've been a bit bad about buying art books again the last couple months. Like I bought like a Hellboy art book. Um, the Katsuhiro Otomo Memories art book. Like it's got like storyboards and whatnot for those short films. Oh, sick. It always hurts to buy that stuff that's out of print. Like, so much pricier. It's so cool to have though. I bought my first ever original drawing too recently, like a Katsuya Terada sketch. It's like my prized possession. Yeah, yeah, that's kind of the thing. Like so for stuff that I have PDFs of, I'll often just go to the PDF instead, because it's just easier to like flip through. Um, there are some books though that can't really find stuff online for, like those ones I'll go to the book for, but yeah. Gotta be careful with buying books, 'cause for a while I had way too many and I had to get rid of a bunch. Yeah, yeah, I got one from Giant Robot Store. Let me let me show you. Um, oh, yeah, I got this one. I was looking at it for like a year or so, and like being like, oh man, it's like $500, but uh, it didn't sell, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get it before it's gone. It was one of the cheaper ones on there. I think like the more expensive ones get up into like the thousands of dollars. As much as like Katsu Terada or like any artist, I don't think I could justify that amount. Not that it's not worth it, it's just like priorities. Yeah, one of his paintings would be so sick, man. Like, be really cool. Do you have any in particular that you have your eye on? If I had if I had a ton of money, I would buy a Dean Cornwell original because I was looking a while ago and like surprisingly he's not, his paintings aren't as expensive as you'd think they would be, like compared to somebody like Leyendecker. Um, like Leyendecker's paintings like way up there, but I mean the Dean Cornwell ones are still expensive. There are some ones that aren't as bad, but it's nowhere near what his skill level is. Super undervalued artist. It's kind of shocking to me because he's like my favorite, like Golden Age illustrator. Well, let's see. Oh, that's cool. Just like a little bit of painting on there. Man, there's something about Katsuya Terada I just love so much. Like I was talking about earlier in the stream, but like there's like this organic nature to the way he draws that I'm just kind of obsessed with. Like nothing really feels, I don't know, like over labored, or I'm not sure the right word to use for it. It's just like very feels very genuine to me. If you have his or get a chance to his book called Sketch has like a really lovely quote in the back of it. He kind of talks about like his art and like his lines and how they're like representations of all the lines of artists that came before him, and this one's pretty cool. Dang. Yeah, it's awesome. I really like his Ketsuya Terada 10. It's like the 10-year retrospective book. Rakuga laughs. Oh, I don't think I've heard of that. I might have read the name somewhere, but I haven't seen any of the art from it. Oh, that's sick. Let me look up the D8, the Dago guy. I don't know if I'm familiar with this stuff. Oh no, of course I am. Okay. Yeah, his stuff's awesome. Oh, it's so good. Man, the old Street Fighter art is so cool, man. It is kind of like one of a kind, huh? Like, I feel like I don't see anything that even comes close to the feeling that that stuff kind of gives. Let's see. Yeah, man. As long about just how iconic all those characters are from that stuff. I really love like character lineups. Um, like you see, like the Left 4 Dead 2 lineup. I don't know what it is about it. It just looks so cool to me, man. I just love how they're all distinct from one another and the different sizing, and it's not like they're overly. I think the main thing too is that with all this stuff that feels so iconic is that nothing's overly complex. Like there's a core idea, and that's all that's really represented. Where's a Street Fighter lineup? It's pretty much the same idea with Street Fighter though. I think that's something that gets lost a lot in games today, is like just detail everywhere, especially in like movies. It's like more detail equals more better. And it's actually just like weakening that core idea presented. Oh, that's cool. I feel like that's actually kind of a good way to design, like, if it's enjoyable. Because I feel like oftentimes, like, there's this voice in our head where we're like, oh, that's dumb. Like, you like something or it, like, brings you joy, but then you have that voice in your head that's like, oh, that's stupid. Like, nobody's gonna like that. I feel like usually those are the things, though, that make something fun and kind of different. Because that voice is kind of like, um, the thing that makes stuff look like everything else. It's like, oh, that's dumb because it doesn't fit what is popular or, whatever else. Yeah, constant stimulation. Subway Surfers has to be somewhere on the screen. Maybe that's what I need on my art stream. In like the corner, it's like Subway Surfers playing. Bait all the zoomers in. And like the soap cutting thing too. People be like, what the hell is this stream? And then there's like a there's like a small, like super low quality video, like Family Guy clips or something in the corner, and it's like the sound from that is going at the same time as I'm talking. You can't like make out anything because it's all getting layered. Oh no, Discovery Toy like it does like mega zoomers. So I'm changing this horn from the original. It was more like rounded and whatnot. I think it's just too soft feeling, and I think I want these guys to feel more dangerous. Part of me wants to do something where the horn is coming out like this almost, but if this thing is huge and a person is like this big compared to it, I suppose it could tilt its head, like really tilt its head down, but oh, maybe that would work if I make it broad enough. Because I am doing a lot of like these under horns. Let's see. Let's take a look at some ref. Probably stay on just for 20 more minutes to make it 3 hours. No, I don't have a PO box. You're in a comic collab? That's sick. That'd be awesome to have that. Hell yeah. Are you still on Discord? Because maybe we can coordinate. Somehow I can get that. Because that'd be super cool to have. I love getting art from my friends. It's actually the best. Like collecting the work of all your pals. Oh, that'd be sick. I'm gonna have to do something in return though. I'll have to do a sketch back for you. I've actually been doing a lot of pencil the past while because I've been wanting to get better at pencil drawing so I could do like art trades and stuff because I always thought that'd be really fun. It's almost like pen pals but with drawings. I don't think I have enough undos. No. Shoot. Oh well, just redraw it. I kind of like that face he had. Oh shit, that's sick. That's awesome. Yeah, man, maybe we could set up like a. If you want to send that to me, I mean, I'd be sick to have. We could set up like a little sketch trade on Discord or something, and I'll sketch you something back too. Wait, are you not on the trench? Let's see. Copy. Did I send you a message? Whisper. There you go. Were you in trench before, Nick, or? Cause I feel like I would have invited you before. I don't know if I like these. I like the one horn. I think they're too long, maybe. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, the server's been around so long that like that's kind of how it is for a lot of people. Like, they'll ask me about it, and I'll be like, "Wait, were you already in there?" And it turns out they had another account at some point. Let's see. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's so many Discord servers, it's easy to get kind of lost with them all. There are so many, but I'm really only active in Trench and like one other maybe. I kind of miss like a dedicated place like Crimson Daggers was back in the day, like the forum type of stuff. I know a few times people have tried to make like a Discord for all kind of concept artists, but they always kind of fail, it seems like, for whatever reason. Yeah, man. There's so much different back then. I'm really fortunate for that as well. Like, just very dedicated communities and everybody like working hard together, and just the amount of like community, like people just helping each other, just, you know, I feel like you don't really see that as much anymore. I mean, it takes a lot of effort to do, but yeah, it's weird. I feel like people were a lot hungrier then in a lot of ways. Yeah, for real. Yeah, I don't know, it's weird. Like, there's definitely more resources now, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of the resources are also very, I don't know, like commercialized almost, like YouTubers and stuff that are. I feel like it's actually like a general problem I see a lot is like, um, I don't know if it fully relates, but like people that are career YouTubers, like artists that are career YouTubers, they kind of lose touch with being an artist oftentimes, and I don't know, there's this whole weird like personality thing to it. I don't know. I feel like it was different back in the day, like watching streams and like people were just kind of on their stream drawing and hanging out. It's like you were an artist first, and then you were streaming secondary as like, just sharing the the journey kind of, and like trying to get better. And usually it was actually an accountability thing for people. Like for me, it was always accountability. Like I only streamed because I couldn't like dick around and play games and whatnot. Yeah, there's like a lot of that um influencer like mentality, I guess. I don't know, it just feels different. I think part of it you can kind of get sucked into just the nature of what Twitch is and whatnot now, and all that kind of stuff. But for streaming and everything. Yeah, yeah. There was like no flashiness to it. I was kind of talking about this earlier, but like I used to have um like when I streamed on Twitch a few years ago, like I had all like the notifications and stuff, which I mean there's nothing wrong with, but um I did that because just other people did it, and it's like, oh, that's what you do. But it kind of is just like flashy extra kind of stuff. It's not really necessary. So like I can see how like one thing leads to another, and then you're focusing on like being a streamer or YouTuber or whatever first and foremost, which I don't know. Like, nothing really wrong with it. It's just different priorities, I guess. I think that's one thing that scared me about streaming for a long time. Like, I stopped for a long time because um, I don't know, whether you like it or not, if you're not careful, you can get sucked into that kind of thing. Like, being like a heightened version of yourself or whatever, or like not fully genuine. I'm not liking these horns. Yeah, if somebody's like trying to be like a YouTuber, like Twitch streamer or whatever, it's definitely like, from a business perspective, I guess it's better to have all that like flashy stuff. Um, if that's like a kind of how you want to make a living or whatever, I guess. I think you, I think you have to have like the personality for it if it's gonna be genuine though, because I feel like a lot of people they like you have to like force yourself into that kind of like mindset maybe, and for me that's what that would be, because I'm pretty laid back, I guess. Yeah, yeah. There's definitely like a benefit to it. It's just not the same. Like I'd prefer like a scuffed stream that's like it's all kind of like messed up and just somebody like working um and being genuine than like a super clean stream, I guess. That's kind of my personality in general. Like I really like stuff that um I don't know. I just don't like flashy stuff a ton. I like real shit. But also maybe this is all just like extreme mental gymnastics into just being lazy and not wanting to do any of that kind of stuff. Never know. I'm not getting this horn right. Ooh, let's see. Oh, I'm getting a 404 error when I click that link. That's cool though, man. I've been kind of thinking about comics lately a little bit and like how it'd be cool to do something like that. Because a graphic novel or comic is kind of like the most accessible way to start making things, I feel like, as like a 2D artist. Like it's manageable to do that kind of thing solo. And then a lot of time like books and whatnot are, end up becoming other things if they're good. Or if you're lucky and they get picked up or whatever. Weird that that link still isn't working. Maybe it's like a private link or something. Okay. I don't know if I like the steps in the horns there. Oh no. I'm still getting this page here. No. It's weird. Haven't used Emger in so long. I used to use it all the time. I'm not feeling this one then. Might just be starting to get winded. Oh, it worked. Oh, these are cool, man. I like the little motorbike thing. That's cool. Very like Dragon Ball-esque. Oh shoot, that's sick. Yeah, it's cool to see your work again. Like I could tell it's your stuff, but it's also like um it feels like it's tightened up a lot. It's cool. It's tightened up, but you've like kept your voice. That's awesome. That always feels good once you kind of get like a formula and like a rhythm going. What happens if I put massive horns in this guy? Probably not gonna look good. Hmm. No, that's kind of cool actually. I kind of like that. Hmm. Maybe he doesn't have horns, but maybe they're just like very thick. Kind of like horn-like plates on his shoulders. Maybe they have like a bit of height to them as well. Like they're just stumps or something. Okay. The hamster with the arrow in its stomach, right? uh, not. I don't really have any comic ideas. I mean, there's worlds I have in my head. Um, I have like game ideas too, or like things I'd like to see. Like all the time, I'm thinking of things that would be kind of cool, but I don't know. I've dabbled in like Unreal a tiny bit, and I've watched a bunch of videos like indie game dev, and like as cool as it would be to make a game, like I'd love to do it. I think it. I feel like realistically, I just can't do that and be good at art. I think I would start stretching myself a little bit too thin bandwidth wise. Um, and like I don't know if I have like the passion to like follow through with you know stuff it takes to make a game. But I've got like a few ideas. Like I thought of like some really simple game ideas that would be really fun to do and model and everything. But I think my best bet for anything like making my own stuff would be yeah, doing like the comic or graphic novel idea, which I don't like really super explained stories. I kind of like what FromSoft does with there's a lot of open interpretation and like you get key beats of things. Um, I feel like making a little art bible type of thing would be fun. Like I don't know, like an art book that has little bits of story blurbs. Um, and then it's mostly concept and like some key art pieces and like world building type stuff. I always thought that'd be really fun. It's basically the kind of thing you'll see on uh, client projects. Like you'll have an art bible on a game that's being made, and I feel like making one of those like your own world would be really fun, but just skew it a little bit more towards like storytelling. Yeah, I feel like that kind of thing was more fun. Like, especially as a concept artist, you kind of want to, I don't know. I feel like variety is just a lot of fun. I think it looks too much like manufactured armor. Yeah. Let me grab. Um. Yeah. So one thing I've been doing that I really like. I mean, that's what this Monster Hunter thing I'm doing now is. It's like a mini portfolio project challenge thing. Um. I had like a Halloween one I did too, where it was like kind of Silent Hill based. This is it here. Just from last year. Um, but yeah, I love the like short bursts, like exploring a world and like an idea. And kind of like that idea of like the character lineup, like doing little snapshots in worlds like that. I find really fun. I guess is the previous Monster Hunter one. The one thing I'd like to do though is actually have like more prop, some environment, and then like actions as well. I feel like that would be really fun to add, like tag on. Kind of like Mike Azevedo. I don't know if you've seen these before, but man, they're so cool. I feel like if anyone's making like a portfolio project, like structuring it this way is just so good. There's character ideation, like props and like world, just like it's like a snapshot into a world. It doesn't have to be like super refined or anything either. I love these. Thanks, man. Yeah, I've I don't know. I feel like I mainly focus on drawing these days now, cause yeah, in the past I relied on rendering too much. I think to fill like make up for lack of design knowledge, and now I'm like I feel like I'm constantly just trying to get better at design, and then like the rendering is like the cherry on top after if I make it that far. Okay, I'm starting to like this a little bit more. Slowly. Okay. Alright. Oh, it's almost 3 hours and a half. I suppose I'll call it there. I don't know, I'm kind of getting slow and a little bit winded, so I think, I don't think I'm done with these guys, though. I'm gonna have to come back to them. I think they're getting cooler. I think this one's way too noisy with all the scales, but I think they're starting to feel a little bit more boss-like. I'm starting to mix the fur and scales a little bit better. Not gonna rush it though, I'll just take my time with seeing what feels nice. But I think I'll call that there. Yeah, take care, man. Thanks for hanging out. Alright, bye bye.